Good morning and welcome back to Asgard and welcome back to our Crackpack modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So I have been extremely busy since last episode. As you can tell, our blood altar looks amazing. No, I'm kidding. Now this blood altar looks like shit, I'll admit it. But we have another one set up. I will say that by the end of setting up our blood magic stuff, we are going to have 4 full blood altars, like fully built out and everything, because we're going to have 1 for crafting, we're going to have 1 for essence generation for our soul network, we're going to have 1 for our personal use, and we're going to have 1 for generating a lot of life essence for our crafting processes. Possibly more, I'm not entirely sure just yet. But before we get into what I've been building over there, which is, personally, I'm really happy with it. It's took forever. You will notice over here I've got just a small cobble gen set up. It's nothing too fancy right now. I haven't eventually I'll make it look a bit better. But I did set this up, and you'll notice that it has a B space upgrade also connected to this chest as well. Oh shoot, you know what, I need to change this to furnace. Okay, I don't mind the quite clear glass, but if you notice, it's not really going anywhere, and that's the issue because I have the storage set up for glass. And I just actually got done setting this up, so luckily it hasn't been running for a long time. But anyway, you'll notice that it has a B space upgrade, and then I've got a chest here to take in some cobblestone into our system. Which that is on the black ender chest. Now eventually we're going to change the system up and make it a bit more fancy and use deep storage units and stuff, but I wanted to set up a cobble gen that worked because we're going to need it for this episode. So that B space barrel is connected to this barrel right here, and then I've just got it set up to round robin to this sag mill and this elite crushing factory. Oh, excuse me. And I do have some conduit speed upgrades in there to make the extraction a bit faster because it was extremely slow, and I need it, especially with this. 15's probably overkill, but when I first set up the system, I was like, okay, we need this running, and it takes forever to fill this elite crushing factory up otherwise. But I'll probably end up pulling those out and using them elsewhere, so I didn't mind too much crafting extra of those. And then the way I've got this set up is some cobblestone will come over here and some cobblestone will come here. And of course this is going to produce sand and gravel as a secondary. The gravel is just automatically going to get put back into this ender chest and sent into our AE system. Then I've got these set up with filters to only accept sand. Over here the sand gets crushed down into silicon, and then over here it gets melted into glass. And then on this side, this crushes the cobblestone down into gravel. Gravel gets sent into this sag mill and creates flint, and gets sent into this alloy smelter and creates concrete. And then the flint is, all this is round robin, so we have some of everything going into the ender chest. So some of the flint goes in there, some of the flint goes into just a standard crusher here to create gunpowder for us. And then I also have 2 igneous extruders I just took from over there. This one is not doing its job. Why in the world? It was running just fine earlier. Oh, there it goes. It was filling up just fine with insert and extract. I don't know what changed there. But anyway, and then I have another igneous extruder here that's creating stone and putting it straight into our system. So we have it's not fully fledged cobble works because we're still going to set up to make like mossy stone and some other things, but you know, it's decent for what we need it for. We need the silicon, we need the smooth stone for this episode. So plus I want some flint production because we're going to use that in sag mills later on to increase secondary chance. So that's the main thing that I've done out here. Most of my work has been elsewhere, and you might have seen something right there. We'll get into that in just a second. Next up, I did not set up the other metal press. I lied. I've been very, very busy, and you will see that in a second. So I haven't got that done. Over here, I did set up a pulverizer. It only has one recipe right now, and that's to create rose red, because I needed a lot of rose red. And so I did go ahead and set that up, and I taught it how to make red inverted lamps. Then over here, this is where our cobble gen is feeding into, minus the obsidian. I don't have that because I don't have the lava automatically being pulled out of the nether just yet. So I've got to set that up and get that automatically pulling out. Or maybe I'm not entirely sure if we ever set up an ender tank to pull the lava out. I can't recall. Maybe we did and I just forgot about it. It's probably at the cave house. I haven't been over there. I went over there and pulled the machines out, but I didn't look to see if we had an ender tank set up. So over here, I've just got these set up, and they all have void upgrades, mainly because the cobble was just filling up, and I didn't feel like messing with it. So, like I said, eventually we'll fine-tune the system a bit more so that it'll just shut off different parts of the system whenever those barrels fill up. But for right now, this serves my needs perfectly. And then for the thing I spent the most time working on, this right now is just a big hole because we're going to use pneumaticraft elevators for this area. So it's not all installed just yet, so we just have to kind of fly down there. But if we jump down here, you will notice that there's something big back here. And I just put a door here to make it a little bit more give you a little bit more anticipation, I guess. But if we open this up, we have ourselves a blood altar. And oh my god, it was so much work. This blood that's pouring down is Tinker's Construct, buckets of blood, which you just get that from cooking up rotten flesh, which we are producing absolute ton of it right now. So that wasn't an issue at all. It just took a while. I still have to fix the leak. I'm just going to use covers on that so that it'll stop the water, because it needs 2 block deep to stop the drips, and so I'm just going to use covers up there. And then most of this is anti-blocks, which are fairly easy to craft. They're just smooth stone with a little bit of glowstone, not too bad. And then we got some obsidian. These stone lanterns, by the way, are very temporary light sources. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do with the light. Oh, we got rotten flesh flying at us from somewhere. I haven't decided entirely what we're going to use for the light sources. And also the grimstone on the corners, I don't know that I like that. That's probably going to change. Also, we're going to do some accents, maybe some bars or something along the walkways here. And probably build some stuff on the side, a little bit of other maybe automation or something, I don't know. But this is just, a temporary thing. I spent forever building this out. This is the red lamps, inverted red lamps from Project Red Illumination. That's what we needed all the rose red for. As you can tell, I used an absolute ton of that. I was out farming poppies for a while. Luckily, poppies tend to grow in like big dense clusters, and there was a bunch around our old cave house area. And you'll notice that I did go ahead and make it a tier 5 altar because with the the amount of other grinding that I did, getting a few nether stars wasn't an issue at all. So we do have some beacons here, and then, of course, here's our blood altar. Now, right now, this is a temporary rune setup. This will change once we set up additional altars. But for right now, it's a combination of speed runes, runes of sacrifice, and runes of augmented capacity. And the reason I want to set all this up is because today our main focus is going to be automating blood magic. I know a lot of people have been really interested in that. However, you're going to find that it is extremely simple. There's multiple ways that you can automate it, but the way that we're going to automate it, since it's in the pack, is actually very easy. And if we pop down here, you'll see that we have zombies and just a Well of Suffering ritual. I've got a couple stabilized spawners here because I went and just ran through some of the roguelike dungeons, got a bunch of souls. Well, I got 2 souls, And I went ahead and upgraded these. I used some wyvern cores, and I went ahead and did the notch apples. It really wasn't that important, but I figured, if I light this area up, which I probably will, that way the zombies can still spawn. I just haven't lit it up yet because what happened there? I haven't lit it up yet because I didn't have the notch apples up until recently. I decided to add those. And then I went ahead and put nether stars on here so that this is going to spawn even when we're not around. And then I just went ahead and put a little sound muffler down here so that we don't have to hear the zombies screaming out in pain constantly. And then we just got a couple vacuum chests feeding into an ender chest. Now I have noticed we're not getting really anything except for rotten flesh. So that's really the only thing we have to worry about. So I didn't filter out the armor and stuff because I wasn't getting any. So I wasn't too concerned about that. But yeah, that's where most of my times went. Now this one is this blood altar is kind of like neon, almost like Tron-ish, I guess, for the most part. However, that's not going to be the case with our other blood altar, our primary one. We're going to make it more like an old temple and kind of have like almost like an Aztec feel is what I'm hoping for underneath the magic tower. But this one, since this is going to be just our automation blood altar, I decided to make it a little bit more techy, I guess. So we will jump into automating that. However, one thing I quickly want to cover, it'll only take a second. One thing that I've been wanting to craft here is no, it's no, not Bibliocraft. Bibliocraft, I can't think of the name of it. It's actually like one of my personal favorite items. Oh, clipboard. That's right. I want to craft a clipboard because this is just going to help me out a lot personally. So let's get some wood here. And let's just go over here and craft this. Okay. And that does not work. Why? Okay. Oh, that's right. It's a pressure plate and not... Sorry about that. Okay, so we got our clipboard, and let's go ahead while we're at it and go ahead and craft a oak desk. Get that made. And the reason I want this is because there's a lot of things that I want to do in this pack, and I tend to get really sidetracked. We'll just set it right here for right now. I'm really bad about it, so we're going to make just a quick to-do list, and then what I can do is I can add things into this. So for example, let's say just for example, to show you, build Cobbleworks, and you can set this onto the oak desk here, and I've already built the Cobbleworks, so I can check this off. And then I could say like blah 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 blah, and just write out a to-do list as I go, and there's multiple pages and stuff, and it saves whatever page you were last on. So it's really, really handy for just kind of helping yourself stay organized and keeping track of things. Honestly, I meant to build it sooner. It's just one of those things that slipped my mind because I didn't have a clipboard. I forgot to craft a clipboard. So that's just going to help us out quite a bit. So let's go ahead. Oh, by the way, I did set up this interface back here, the one we set up last episode. I went ahead and set it up to keep 64 pure Certus, pure Fluix, pure Nether Quartz, refined iron, glass cable, and then all of our processors. So we've got all 64 of each of those on hand at all times. And we'll probably set up another interface fairly soon to store some more items, because there's a lot of things that I want to keep on hand for us. Food being probably the next thing that I want to get set up. Because I do want to set it up so that our potatoes, the excess potatoes, come over here, and I don't have to go over there and cook them up and everything. So we're pretty much like an Irish like ocean platform right now, because we just live off potatoes all the time. But anyway, let's go ahead and start setting this up for automation. So the first thing, of course, we're going to need an interface, and let's get some dense cable. We'll go ahead and craft like 40, I should think, should be fine. And because we're going to run a dense line down there, I think. Or do I just want to run... you know, I might just run like a smart cable line. Because I really don't think we're going to need 32 channels down there. Actually, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Okay. Let's go ahead and lay this out. We are going to use the dense. And let's do black, because I know I've got ink sacks. And let's get, say, 24 of these for right now. And let's get ready to hold our breath. By the way I got rid of the water in there is I just used the open block sponges. Those are my personal favorite because they do a rather wide area, whereas the thermal expansion ones only do like a 3x3, if I recall. The open blocks ones do a rather large area, so I like those a lot. Let's... I almost think I need to put another controller on here, actually. Let's do that just really quickly. So we have a better place to hook in. It's such a cluster down there. I'm going to have to kind of do some cable organization at some point. Okay, welcome back. So I think, because I don't have enough wool right now, so I'm just going to use Fluix cable for right now, and then I'll update it later on, or I may just leave it as is. I don't know. Let me actually turn off my jetpack right now. But the main reason I wanted to go ahead and start running a dense line down is because we are going to have some other areas down there, you know, around where the around where the blood magic altar is. So I'm actually just gonna set that to hover mode. By the way, building underwater was fun times. We did have a couple potions of water breathing. I used some of those. But I was about to make the mechanism stuff to actually do it, but then once I got down a little ways, I started using the sponges, and then I could just use those as air pockets, so it wasn't terrible, you know, really, you know, once I got to that point. So it was mainly kind of getting started and everything. So we'll just hook that in right there. And the reason we're going through the top, ideally I didn't really want to go through the top, but the thing is, the way we're going to automate this, it has to be at the top of the blood altar. So we're just going to go through the top with the cabling. So, and this should be centered. I gauged it from the top instead of coming in here and gauging it from you know, inside here. I just did it from the top. I was like, yeah, this looks good. This is about right. And yeah, looks like it came out perfect. So I'm gonna leave it right there for right now. And I will spruce that up with something, you know, so it doesn't look like just a cable sticking out of the ceiling. I'll use some facades and kind of fix that up. And whatnot. So we've got our interface. Now the next thing that we're going to need, it is from Sanguimancy, which is a mod that's all about like blood magic additions, soul corruption. It adds the Drill of the Dead ritual, which is kind of like an upgraded Well of Suffering. The only reason I haven't started using that is because of soul corruption. The Drill of the Dead will cause a little bit of soul corruption every time it runs, and the thing is, if you get so much of that, you're going to have to deal with basically you'll start seeing things, start hallucinating and stuff, and I don't really want to start messing with that just yet. But the item that we're going to need is the Altar Manipulator, and so we're going to need 4 Altar Diviners and then an Altar Emitter. So let's see, we're going to need 4 blood altars, 8 blood altars. Okay, fun. And we're going to need quite a bit of furnaces. So let's get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Sanguimancy. Let's get the altar manipulator, the blood altars. So we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of these. And half of these we're going to just throw back in there for right now. Because we want the altar manipulators. So we're going to need, what, 7, 14, 21, 28 redstone blocks. Very expensive. Hopefully we have enough. Not entirely sure. I may have to go, like, mining or something. No, I think we're going to be good. Yeah. Okay. And actually, we have a redstone farm. I forgot about that. So I've got, like, 64 stacks of redstone over there. I got to get that plugged into the system as well. So we should be all set now to get our 4 altar manipulators. And then now we just need to get this crafted. And one thing we're going to do while we're down there is let's go ahead and make a master blood orb, because I haven't made one of those, and they're fairly easy to make. They just require a weak blood shard. That's why... What the hell? Damn it. What is this mess? Oh, you're gonna mess up my blood. Gotta love building underwater. Gotta love it. Okay, let me... Actually, we're just gonna use these. It's fine. Somehow it hooked into that blood and created a endless water source. I don't know how that worked out, because all it did was it poured some loose water down out of there, and it didn't... Looks like that's the only place that it went. Okay. So let's go ahead and get our master blood orb. Oh yeah, that's right. We had 2. There's that. And then we'll get our other things. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now keep in mind also, there is additional ways that you can automate blood magic. I know I've seen somebody do it with computer craft before. However, computer craft is not my forte. I'm not a coder. And I have also... I've done it in the past with Steve's Factory Manager, and it's also very easy to do if you set up separate altars for each slate. So, you know, there's a variety of different ways that you can do it, but we're just going to do it this method because if your pack has Sanguimancy, it is so easy, so easy to automate your blood altar. And let's see, what else we're going to want. Let's grab a chest. No? Oh, yeah. I should probably teach my system how to make chests, because that would definitely be handy. Okay. Alright, so I need to upgrade the jetpack too soon. Or we could also just make like an angel ring or something. We should probably do that fairly soon, I think. So our altar manipulator is going to go on top of our blood altar. Now, if I recall correctly, I believe we can just hook the interface directly onto this. Oh yeah, we're going to need one other thing. I forgot about, see, the, where's it at? Sanguine shifter. We're going to need an altar manipulator for that as well. Shit. Okay. And basically what the altar manipulator does, actually I wonder. No, actually I know that wouldn't work out. Okay, so let's, well, you know what, let's try it real quick. Let me grab some, we may not need this. We may not need the shifter. It's been a while since I've set it up with Sanguimancy, because I know a lot of packs don't have Sanguimancy. So I can't recall if we have to have that or not. And so it's got some slates. Let's see if item conduits will just pull out of that. I'll set this to insert, this to extract always active. Now it will, the only thing that I'm concerned about is, yeah, it seems like it only sends it out. We'll have to test it. Let's test it really, really quick. So basically what the altar manipulator does is it will take in blocks that can go into the blood altar, and it will kind of hold them until you have enough essence or life force in your altar to change that item over. Oh, excuse me. And then once there's enough essence in there, it's going to send that item in and change it over for you. So let's see if we were to go down here and put this in. And the nice thing about this is you never have to worry about, like, one of the common issues whenever you go to automate your blood altar is making sure that it has enough life force and that it's not going to run out, which once you get a strong altar, that's not a problem. But with the altar manipulator, you don't even have to worry about that at all, because it's only going to put the items in once it has enough life force in the, in the altar. So let's see. And by the way, this little area here, this isn't set in stone for how it's going to look. It's just because we're going to have some other rooms and areas that connect, and there's probably going to be like a little hallway in there and stuff. And I might even change the glass over. I don't know, which I don't mind it too much because I can use that vibrant quartz elsewhere, or that vibrant glass. But let's see, if we were to come over here and we were to request, say, 20 blank slates. Let's see. Yeah, see, I think the issue right now is it's putting the stone in there and it's pulling the stone right back out. So that is, I believe, the issue that we're having at the moment. Yeah. That's what I was afraid of. So we are going to need there's other ways that we could do it, but I think probably the best way would just be to craft this sanguine shifter. So we're going to need another altar manipulator. So let's go ahead, let's get 8 more furnaces, and then let's get 8 more blood altars, and then let's get can my system make hoppers? I can't remember if I taught it to make them. Really, I didn't? Shoot. Okay. Let's get just a bunch of wood. And we might actually... Oh, you know what? Let me actually just teach our system to make chests. So this is going to make... Whoops. If you take... Oh, we're about out of wood. I need to get the wood plugged into this too. That's another thing that I need to do. Why did I throw the pattern in there? Okay, so... now our system knows how to make chests. Anyway, let's see. So we've got our blood altars. So let's get our blocks of redstone. We're going to need, what, 28 of these. Okay. And then... that probably would have been easier in the first place to do it that way. And then we're going to need... oh, we're going to need some levers here. Okay. Should have just done it from this. Sorry. Okay. What's this? There we go. There's 4 of those. And then, of course, we just need to change these blood altars over, and we will be all set. So, let's do that. If you notice, it's kind of eerie because it is completely quiet down here. If I recall, that's not going to pump directly into that chest. No. Okay. Let me break this. I should have left the item. Well, no, because then... Well, yeah, it would have been fine if, you know, if I had placed the altars in there. Anyway. So, let's see. Now we should be able to craft this. And get our sanguine shifter. Now this item is honestly wonderful. Just very, very handy item to have when you go to set up your altar manipulator. And let's get... No, wrong item. Let's get a hopper. And this. This. That. Okay, so now we are all set, and let's go set this up. Now what the sanguine shifter does is you can just apply it to any side of this altar manipulator just by right clicking on there. Now there's no visual representation, so you cannot see that it went on, but then if you put any kind of an inventory on that side, it can pull in the items once they get finished. And so the way that this method works is, let's say you request like a demonic slate. It's going to first make a blank slate, send it back to your inventory, then make your oh, I can't think of what the next one is, but anyway, it's going to make that one next, and so on as it works its way up. So, well, now it's got our 22 blank slates, but let's go ahead and say request 10 of these. And we'll give it just a second. There we go. So it's crafting them. I wonder how it got the 22. Okay, 1 second. This might actually work. So give me 1 second to test this out. You may not even need the sanguine shifter. It may have just taken longer and I was impatient. So give me just 1 second here. Okay, welcome back. You don't need the sanguine shifter. I apologize about that. I have the item conduit just plugged in here, and what it does, it will hold onto the stone. It won't let the item conduits have it back until it's crafted. So it's not even going to let it extract the stone or whatever until it's finished with, you know, changing it over into whatever it's changing it to. So, yeah, so that was just a big waste of resources there. So I apologize about that, but you know, now you know about the sanguine shifter if you were not previously familiar with it. Now I'll show you, for example, if we teach it that let me actually go change one of these over really quick. So that was actually easier than I expected to automate that. So there you go, very, very simple way to do that. So let's give it that. What is it? Reinforced slate, I think, is the next one, and then demonic. And I'm really excited about this because it's going to make growing our AE system so much easier, because then we can automate the creation of the runes and tell it, like, we can just come in here and say, why don't you make 16 speed runes and such of this rune and so on. It's going to be so nice. So nice. So now let's set this up. Now it is, keep in mind that you are going to have I think it's like a tier 3 altar at minimum, you know, to actually set this up. But once you get to that point, and you can automate this, it definitely simplifies your life a lot. So let's say request one of these, and I've got all the blank slates on me right now. It takes it just a second, and we have a reinforced slate. And then of course we could do the same with the reinforced slate and upgrade it, and so on. So I'm going to get all these automated, and yeah, start expanding our blood altar setup. Now this altar is as large as we can make it for a while, because in order to make it bigger, of course we're going to have to do the demon invasion, which if you've never done that before, it is a lot of fun. Honestly, in the past when I've done it, I'll admit it's kind of a headache to get it set up at first. Especially if you've never done it before, it is a headache, and it takes a long time. Like, we're talking, when I went to start doing it, I spent like the whole damn day prepping for it and doing the demon invasion, and then just kind of, killing a few mobs to actually get what I did the demon invasion for. So it does take a while. So I figure we'll probably do like an episode of prep for that, and then an episode of the actual, the actual invasion and whatnot. So probably not the full episode for the invade. Well, I don't know. 'Cause I want to be thorough about it because it is slightly confusing, I'll admit. But yeah, so. But yeah, what I was saying is that it's going to be a while before we upgrade that altar. Now I will upgrade the one that we're actually using for our personal use, and I'll start kind of building out that area hopefully fairly soon. I can't say that's going to be done by next episode because I'll admit I'm kind of burnt out on building blood altar setups right now. You guys don't even realize how long this took. It took so long. So long, and not to mention I had to make all these slates manually and everything, because I couldn't very well just destroy our old altar, because that's where my soul network stuff is right now. So but yeah, it took a little while. But anyway, I'm going to end the episode out there. As always, if you guys enjoyed it, please comment, like, subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated. And next episode, we'll be getting back into tech, and I'm not sure what we're going to do. So I hope you guys join me for that, and we're going to be diving into the unknown. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found this helpful. If somebody wants to automate blood magic without sanguimancy, let me know, and I'll try to come up with a tutorial video for you. Now, like I said, it's very easy to automate if you do the multiple altars for each slate method. But if you don't want to do that, you can do it with Steve's Factory Manager as well. It's not too bad. But honestly, if you have access to sanguimancy, I suggest just doing the sanguimancy thing, because you can just throw that block down, set it up, and you're good to go. So, but anyway, as always, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know. And I think that's the last one that I have access to right now, right? And yeah, so until next episode, do take care, and I hope to see you guys then.